Okay, so hopefully I'm live right now. I literally just saw a message like 1 second ago saying that I don't have permission to go live. And I was like, holy crap, like, really? You're gonna give me that error like just when I'm about to log in? So, oh, thank God I've actually been able to log in because that would have been crazy, because I was not expecting that message, but I don't know what was wrong. At least that's been fixed. Didn't freak out. So live on Sunday. And I just want to note for anyone who's tuning in, both now and later, feel free to comment below this video, like how is your month going so far? How's April been for you? For me, I would say it's been, I don't even know what to call it. It's been a crazy, crazy, crazy experience. That's all I can say. And so many realizations, so many lessons that are coming through in the most weird way. I'm going to tell you more about it as we go through this live. And remember what I said in the last video, like I love doing the lives because at least I can have an update on my weekly basis, on my weekly insights, right? Rather than recording my pre-recorded videos like 1 month before you get to see whatever is going through my life at that time. So that's why I love doing the live. And it's so crazy because I am literally nowadays so excited to actually go live because it's actually so much fun for me and just getting to test myself in a new way and getting to see, okay, so what's going to happen today? And today it was that message that I just got, I don't have permission to go live. And I was like, oh, no way. But it worked out and I'm grateful. Okay, so first of all, who am I? For anyone who's tuning in, maybe you've never seen me before. I'm an intuitive healer. I do work with two modalities, one of which is the Akashic Records, a modality called Soul Element. And I'm going to be explaining all about that at the end of the live stream. So if you're curious about that, make sure you tune in until the end because I do have a special offer running this for the next, is it 8 days left? Yeah, because the offer runs until April 15th, where I'm offering a 30% discount for anyone who registers for any of my services. Okay, so you can book a solar element session. The second modality I do work with is called quantum flow. Again, I'm going to be explaining all about that at the end of this live. And yeah, so I have a combination of that. You can book either solar element, quantum flow, or book a combination of both. And any service you book, I'm going to give you a special discount of 30%. Offer is running until April 15th, so don't miss out because April 16th prices are back to normal. So I'm hoping if you're watching this and maybe you've ever been curious about how, like, basically healing in this kind of way, you know, take advantage of this because I don't know when is the next time I'll be giving this kind of an offer. It's actually the first time I've ever given this kind of an offer. So take advantage because I don't know when the next time it is I'll actually get inspired to do this again. So yeah, so hopefully I'll get to see you and I'm gonna leave a link to that. I was gonna leave it at the end of the video, but you know what? I'm actually gonna see if I can pin it in the chat right now on YouTube, and I can actually do that. So let's see what happens. Yeah, I think I figured it out. So let's see. I think I have to streamline that. So sorry for anyone who's tuning in and wondering what I'm doing later on, and maybe you can't see. Um, You know what? Apparently, I can't leave the entire thing. So let me see. I'm going to leave a link to how you can book the services. Just that here. So you can check the chat and I'm going to pin that for you for anyone who wants to tune in. Hopefully that works. I think it does. But anyway, so back to how my week has been. I don't know if that has worked because it's kind of like showing up weirdly. So yeah, if you click on that link that I've just put in the chat right now, also, I'll be leaving a link to that at the end of this video, like below the description box. Once the video is fully uploaded after the live, I'm going to be leaving the links to all of that. So if you want to take advantage of the 30% discount, make sure you do that. Okay, so now that you're done with the marketing, fine. Let me update you on how my week has been so far. So if you checked out my last live, there is a certain what is it called? Challenge I did for myself. I said I was going to take a whole day where I was gonna disconnect from the world. Okay, so for me, that means it's just no internet, right? So nothing on social media, no TV shows, no nothing, no music, nothing. And the reason why I did that challenge for myself was because, again, if you remember the previous life I had done, which was the end of the end of March, I had shared how we had to spend over 2 days without electricity at home, and that was like a weird experience for me. So last week is when I was really reflecting on all the lessons that I had learned, and then it hit me like, you know what? Because that entire experience was so uncomfortable. I was wondering like, why was it so weird for me to just spend like a whole day with just not doing anything? Because that was literally a forced upon downtime for me. It was a perfect moment for me to just sit down and reflect and just not do anything. But I realized that I'm so used to, I want to say distracting myself because that's a form of distraction, you know. So normally when I'm doing my chores, I have something playing in the background, you know. So I'm not usually super present with whatever activity I'm doing. There's always something to just keep my mind occupied. So I wanted to take my reflection or my mindfulness to the next level and just take that downtime, you know, no more background anything. So when I'm doing my chores, I'm fully there, present. I'm not like a million miles away or getting entertained by something on the computer or the TV or something like that. I'm literally present with everything that I'm doing and just being mindful. So last week, I did say at the last live that I was going to challenge myself. That was on Wednesday. I was gonna take a whole day off where I wasn't gonna entertain that. No music, nothing. Just me, silence, and whatever activity I was doing. And I kind of want to update you on that because it was so weird for me to just take that kind of downtime for myself. You know, I'm so used to always have something to do each day, right? So if I'm not working on content, I am, studying or something. There's always something I'm doing. So just to take a whole day off without being forced upon, like electricity or Wi-Fi going off, that was weird for me. But I decided I'm gonna do it because I had said it out loud. Remember when I said if you have something that you want to accomplish, saying and making that commitment either to someone else actually helps you with following up on that. Because I don't know, it's some weird thing when you make a commitment to someone else. It's kind of like I don't want to let that person down. That's the energy that I kind of have about it. Whenever I say something I'm gonna do out loud, I have to follow it up. That's just how I'm designed, or at least I try to follow it up. But last week, I'm telling you, like the temptation to just say, like, you know what, I can just do it another time. I don't have to figure it out right now. That temptation was there. But because I had come on live and said I was going to do it, I was like, you know what? I don't care. I have made that commitment and I have to like, for anyone who's watching or who's following, I have to give an update to what happened. So I finally did that on Thursday. So that was the following day after I made that commitment. And downtime. And let me tell you, it was an interesting experience because I really did not think I was going to pull through or manage. My initial thought when I was making that commitment was I was just going to spend like a whole day, like daytime, nothing. And then at night, I can maybe do some work, maybe for 2, 3 hours and then go to bed. But when I started off that day, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go with the flow and see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to deal with it when it like if it gets to a point I'm like, I can't take this anymore, I'm gonna like switch on the computer and just do something and then say, I'll try it another day. But that never came about. It was so weird. It was just me in silence in my room doing nothing, just maybe interacting with people around me. That was okay. But just sitting in silence most of the time, that it was an incredible experience. My meditation was so much deeper. Remember, I have a high, I normally do my meditations, but I love being guided to it or having music playing in the background when I'm doing it. So I never do like silent meditation. But that day I was able to go so, so deep and connect with a new aspect of a higher self. Okay, like literally that community, it was an incredible experience. That's all I can say. um I call that day my reset. It's the first time that I've actually ever gone to bed early, like, and by early I mean 11 p.m. For someone who's watching this, you might think like 11 p.m. is too late for me. It's like pretty early. I'm a serious night owl, and by night owl I mean that I can literally work until 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. because my mind is usually super active during those periods of time. Then during the day, I'm just like, oh, I don't feel like doing much. So during the days when I normally use that time to, do the chores in the house, or I'm listening to a podcast, taking a lesson or something. So at night is when I do most of my focus work, because that's when my mind is like on a new level, right? But that day, 11 p.m., I was in bed. That's early for me. And the following day, I was up by 7. I'm like, whoa, that was a great experience, honestly. I really did not think I was going to be able to do that. What else came about from that? It was going deeper on that, going deeper on my vision, going deeper on my purpose, and just being mindful of what kind of thoughts or emotions were arising from that particular experience. So if you're watching this, this is something I think I'll advise you to do. Just try it out. It's gonna feel uncomfortable, but trust me, it's not gonna be as bad as you think it's gonna be. Really, literally didn't think. And I would say just go with the flow and see what comes about. Don't if it seems like such a big commitment to say like a whole day, I'm not gonna do anything and all of that. Just start small. Like I said in the last slide, it's give yourself an hour, 30 minutes or whatever, just downtime where you're not doing anything. It's just you with your thoughts, just reflecting, or if that's too much for you, just your journal, and you're just writing whatever comes through for you. It's a powerful experience, and I love to hear from you if you ever actually get to do this for yourself. Share your experiences down below and inspire someone else. Now, following that, I'm going to share something interesting that happened today. And I don't know what's going on with that. Like all of a sudden, things are just not working, right? So today I wake up and our Wi-Fi is completely gone. So I don't know what was going on the other side. The providers were trying to fix whatever problem that was. And I woke up in the middle of it. So I didn't know that the Wi-Fi was gonna just woke up like there's no Wi-Fi. And I could have really freaked out at that time, but I was actually laughing at it because literally I had not scheduled any content for today. So I normally like scheduling everything, my content. So I'm not like the kind of person who wait for a certain time and then I come line and post the whatever content. For me, it's I use Meta Business Suite to schedule my Facebook and Instagram, and YouTube, of course, you can schedule the certain links or whatever you want to schedule. So I normally do that, but today I had not done any of that. I didn't even know what I wanted to talk about today. So that's why I had taken so much time to figure out what conversation we're gonna have today. Kind of like meditating on that during the day. So at that time when I'm realizing there's no Wi-Fi and these people were not giving us a credible response as to when the Wi-Fi will be back, I could have so easily freaked out. But the mindset I was at that time, it was like, if it so happens that I'm not able to post my content on time, like what's the worst thing that can happen? Like literally, that's what I was thinking. Thinking, like the situation is beyond my control. I can worry, I can get angry, I can get frustrated at these people, but there's literally nothing else I can do. If the content is meant to go out later, then that's how it's going to be. And literally, that was the mindset I was in. And, it was so funny because now looking back to now the previous time where we didn't have the electricity and I could do nothing, right? And mind you, that time, like at least all my content was scheduled for the week, so I didn't have to worry about work so much. I didn't have any booked sessions. So like I was free and I was freaking out that time. And this time round today, I've done nothing. And I'm like such a peaceful mindset. That was like, you know what? It's okay. It's beyond me. They'll fix it when they fix it. And literally, that's where I was. And I'm watching the person who's around me that time freaking out and getting angry. I'm like, I'm just laughing it off. So it was funny to witness literally and just to recognize that switch in my mindset because of whatever it is that I did last week that I forced myself to have a downtime. And I realized it's not that much of a big deal. You can actually get through it. So that was an interesting experience. And just to share that, one thing I really do aspire to do is to have a kind of mindset where the external world never affects your internal state of being. And you might, if you're not familiar with this, like I've had stories about yogis in India or certain monks who have ability to maintain such happy states. And that means that it does not matter whatever happens in the external world, you literally maintaining a happy state of being, a blissful state of being, regardless of whatever happens. So get arrested by someone, I'm gonna be happy. Your house gets burned down, I'm gonna be happy. I'm just giving extreme cases, but literally there are people who are able to not fall down into the ego kind of way of looking at things and thinking that you're being punished or this is the worst possible thing. There are people who actually embody states of seeing that everything that happens in the external world is always happening for them, regardless of how bad, and bad is something that we tend to label when you don't have that kind of higher perspective. So regardless of how bad the situation is, you're still able to maintain that higher state of being. That's the kind of mindset, emotional state that I aim to embody going forward, to remain so unaffected by external world. Not unaffected in the sense that I'm so cold or I'm inconsiderate or not compassionate for whatever is going on around me. No, I mean that whatever happens, it should not affect my internal state of being. So if I'm at peace inside, whatever happens on the outside, I'm still able to maintain that. That is the state I aim for, and that is the state that I wish for anyone who's watching this or anyone who catches this live later on. Okay. So now that I'm done catching you up on the happenings of the week, today what I want to talk about. The title of this video is Prayer is a Two-Way Street. So this came about for me when I was meditating yesterday and channeling who was I talking to? Like my guides, I think, or my higher self. But this is what came through for me, sorry. That have you ever had a conversation with we're gonna use the example of a loved one, okay? You're having a conversation with a loved one, you could be on the receiving end. So just picture yourself on the receiving end. And this person is just busy giving you their life history, this and this has happened, is complaining to you, is um, complaining about the happenings, like how miserable their life is, and then sharing about everything that's happened with them, not even giving you a point to interject and give your own opinions or whatever. It's just literally a one-way street conversation. So you're literally on the receiving end of someone complaining about their life, complaining about how miserable they are, asking for your help and telling you need to step in and help me with this and this thing. But you know what? And have you ever had that kind of a conversation with someone and I love to hear from your perspective. How do you normally handle such people who are not able to actually sit down and listen? Just constantly talking, and never listening. Most people cannot be able to handle or have zero patience for that kind of habit from anyone else. So anyone doing that, it seems inconsiderate and selfish and very self-centered of you to be constantly being the one who's just talking, and not willing to sit down and listen. It's a rude kind of behavior, but this is what most people do when they do prayer. When they're praying to God, right? That I sit here in silence and I'm going to say, God, thank you for this day, blah blah, and here's my problem. Like I have a problem with my money, I have a problem with my relationship, I have a problem with my job, I have a problem with this country, I have a problem with all those things. And then, okay, God, help me with this and help me figure this around, and that's it. And say amen. And maybe you'll put in a gratitude note for the ones who remember anyway, somewhere in between, to say thank you for my life. Most people don't, right? You do that, and then that's it. And then you go about your business. And then the following day, you're back again, just do the same thing again and again and again. And that's how literally people approach prayer. So picture if you're doing that to someone else. At what point will this other person get pissed off at you? Let's not even talk about if you were on the receiving end of that conversation. How long will it take for you to just dismiss this other person and never give this person your time of day? Because you notice they're very self-centered. They're only thinking about themselves. They don't care about your opinion. They're just we call it dumping their trauma or their experiences on you and not caring about what you're gonna say about that. And then being entitled enough to ask for your help with whatever problem they're going through and not even wanting to hear your response to that. Do you say yes? Do you say no? Do you say maybe later? No. They expect you to handle that problem right now. That is how most people approach prayer. So if you're on the receiving end of that right now and you feel uncomfortable when I say that, I'm not saying that God is like that, and thank God, because God created us and He does not have the kind of egoic perspective that we suffer with as a human being, right? Thank God for that, because no normal person would be able to accept or tolerate that kind of behavior. But we do that constantly to God. And thank God for his infinite patience. He completely understands where you're coming from, right? But the thing that came up for me was it has to be a two-way street for that communication or that conversation to be effective. So by two-way communication, two-way conversation means that yes, talk, yes, make your request, yes, share your problems or whatever it is with God, no problem. But you also have to sit down and listen also. You also have to be present to the response. If you're not there, then what are you doing? And I want you again to keep on having that picture in your mind of someone constantly dumping to you all their trauma, all their problems, all of that, and expecting your help. I want you to put yourself in that scenario and now turning now to you doing that to God, constantly praying, 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 and not waiting to get the response, not sitting down to just receive that response. And there's so many ways that that response can come through. So I'm not just saying just sit here and just wait for whatever comes to your mind, because usually especially for the people who don't have the inner awareness of what the voice of their ego or what the voice of the higher self sounds like, or even God sounds like, you might be getting a thought and thinking it's coming from a higher like guidance, but it's actually coming from your ego. So if you don't have awareness of that, that can get very confusing. You might end up doing things that you will not normally do. So remember, I've given a couple of examples of how to tell if you're hearing from your ego or you're hearing from the divine. So as long as it's a voice that's super judgmental, being abusive to you, being abusive to another person, being judgmental to another person, anything that's not based on an unconditional love and acceptance is usually coming from your ego. That's the best way to tell. Anything that's usually wanting to put hierarchy with you, making you seem like you're better than other people or making you seem like you're less than other people, that's usually from your ego. But anything else that comes from a positive kind of mindset, full of love, full of unconditional acceptance and all that, that's usually a voice from your higher self or God or your guides or whatever it is that you pray to, right? So the way that the answers come through, it can be different for all of us. So it's whatever is suited best for you. Okay, so when you ask, if at all you're not the kind of person who has that kind of mindset to be able to tell the difference between your ego and the voice from God, then whatever communication comes through, it has to come in a way that you will be able to receive it. And that's why I always say, like, look around you at all the signs around you, and it can come in different forms from literally a movie you're watching and it has a certain face that just hits you like that. You'll hear the face and think like, whoa, that's so weird. I was just praying about that today morning. You could be listening to a song and the lyrics, it's like someone is talking to you directly. For me, I normally get so much communication from YouTube. For some reason, I'll always be guided to just click on a YouTube video that has the exact message that I need in that moment. And I listen. For some people, it's through their dreams. If you decipher your dreams and all of that, you'll realize a lot of messages have come through that. For other people, it could be from a conversation with a loved one, a conversation with even a stranger, and that person has a perfect message for you that is an answer to whatever you're praying about. It could be a phrase in a book, so many different ways, but that answer will only come through in a way that you will be able to receive it. But first of all, you have to be available to receive it in the first place. So again, it cannot be a one-way communication. It's yes, make your request, yes, ask your questions, but also have the patience to wait for the answer, for it to come in whatever form possible. And what I normally say is that if you're not sure of what that is, then ask that. When the answer reveals itself to you, then you have awareness of that is my answered prayer, right? Because a lot of people are not able to tell, and you have to train yourself to recognize the signs around you if it's something that's not been happening to you frequently, right? So ask for the wisdom to be able to determine when, that answer is coming through for you. And it's going to come, and you will know that that answer or whatever you're noticing is actually meant for you. That's how I'd go about it. Is there anything else I wanted to mention in this? That was literally it. So have the patience. Yes, make your request. Yes, bring all your complaints, bring all your worries, all of that to God, but also ask for the grace and the patience and the wisdom to be able to recognize the answers in whatever form they come through. And that was my message for today. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, comment down below and share like the many ways that you receive your answers. I love to hear from you. And you never know, you might inspire someone else who sees that comment to start looking for those signs themselves. I've shared some of mine, so share some of yours by all means. Subscribe to my channel if you're new to my channel. Make sure that you click on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any time I go live on my channel. What else? Yes, I did promise I was gonna share how what solar element is and quantum flow is. Remember, I've said 30% discount running until April 15th, so take advantage of that. So what soul element is basically based on working with Akashic records, and it's all about connecting you to your soul identity and helping you realize your soul level traits, your soul level gifts that you're supposed to leverage to create a human experience for yourself. Most people have lost touch with their authentic self based on all the noise that's happening in society, based on the people around them, their guardians or their whoever was taking care of them, caregivers when they were children, right? And probably most people have been guided to paths that are so against who they were designed to be. But sometimes it could even be the influence of society telling you that this is the only path to success, and maybe whatever path you're following is not the path that was designed for you to take based on how you were designed to create as a soul, having a human experience. So if you want to know what your soul level traits are that can help you enhance your human experience, you can discover that with the soul alignment reading. And the best part about it is also it helps you with clearing your negative karmic influences. Remember, your soul has lived so many lifetimes before. And for most people, they have made so many mistakes in the past life that they're still repeating currently. Most people, okay, if you're watching this, you may not be aware that a lot of the experiences that you've had in your life, a lot of the people you've attracted, you know, they're based on, your vibrational blueprint, whatever is on like a match to your soul blueprint. So if at all your blueprint still has the imprint of past life choices you made, you'll keep on attracting the same people in the same circumstances because the soul wants to resolve this karma it incurred within its soul blueprint. So you'll keep on attracting the same people in an attempt to help you resolve. And how do you resolve that? By making different choices. But most people, because they have zero awareness of what mistakes they made in the past, they keep choosing the same mistakes again, even in this lifetime. So you'll find that you'll be attracting people. Yes, they're different people in different bodies, different whatever, but it's the same energetic underlying quality. If probably you were in an abusive thing in the past, you'll be attracting abusive people in this lifetime. And most people are usually stumped as to why on earth is this happening? Because that's part of your blueprint. And what soul element can do is connect you back to that past life, connect you back to your soul story, and help you identify what choices you made in the past that you're still repeating currently, so that now going forward, you're able to make new choices. And of course, you get to clear all this negative karmic blueprint energetically, right? So clear it from your blueprint so that you stop being a vibrational match to that. And now, and the power now rests with you going forward based on the awareness you will gain from the soul element session. You now have responsibility to make new and better choices for yourself. That's how you integrate that full healing on a physical level. That's soul element. Second modality I do work with is called quantum flow. So quantum flow is all about rewiring your nervous system, about clearing the deep-seated wounds that are within your nervous system, your trauma, your emotional wounds, both from when you're literally in your mother's womb. So a lot of the imprints that we have are actually things that we picked up from our mothers who also picked up from their mothers, right? So whatever was going on during your um, when you were present in your mother's womb, whatever was going on around her, probably it's already imprinted within you, meaning that we have so many unconscious patterns that are still running within us, we're unaware of, but still affect how we operate in the world. So some people you'll find that anytime they encounter something that triggers that particular pattern within you, you find yourself having an overblown reaction to such a small trigger. And you can't even figure out, like, why did I get that angry? Why did I get so sad? Why did I get so disappointed? It's because whatever that other person has done has touched on that particular wound, and you're feeling it as if it's happening for the first time again. So what now quantum flow does, it uses breathwork, sound, and movement to help break this, the trauma, the wounds, all of that down and get the energy flowing again so that you're no longer a victim of your past, you know, I would say your past life, right? You're no longer a victim of your childhood crap, your childhood trauma, and all of that. You're operating from a new space. And what quantum flow does is that it helps you tap into higher states of being on your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic well being. And I can tell you for a fact that I've done quantum flow since 2020. And when I say this thing has I don't think I've come across anything that has accelerated my results the way quantum flow has done. Honestly, it's like the biggest game changer. And I wake up like days and like months later, and I'm wake up and I'm like, holy crap, like I don't know where that trigger went. Like it's kind of like it evaporated. That's because I've done the work to release all that trauma, whatever was holding that trigger still in my body. I've released it. And now, based on that, I get to wake up to a new me. So what quantum flow does actually accelerate the healing process. So if you're curious about that, you want to learn more, again, check out the links down below. I'm going to be leaving the links to connect with me. If you have more questions, you can connect with me on Facebook or Instagram. Ask whatever questions you have of me. Or you can go ahead and book a free, a complimentary 15 to probably 30 minutes discovery call and ask any questions you have of this before you jump in ahead and book a session with me. Again, remember 30% discount until April 15th. So don't miss out because I do not know when next I'll be running this particular offer. Okay, so I hope I will get to see you on the other side. I will see you on the next live. I'm really not sure if I'm gonna have a second live this week because I have a crazy week ahead, but we'll see. Whatever announcements I have, if most probably I will be going live again on Wednesday. If not, we'll see how the week goes. That's how I'm gonna leave today. Okay, so sending you so much love. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Again, if you haven't, you subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on next time and go live. See you next time. Bye for now.